Leann, we're back in the studio again today. Thank you so much for coming out. And today we wanted to talk about a controversial topic that some designers think is old and passé and it's out of style. But let's talk about feature walls. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get us started with feature walls. Do's and don'ts.
Okay.
What should people do?
Oh, well, I often get asked, like, is a feature wall still popular, or I want to liven up the space? What can I do? And of course, that is the go-to, and there's so many different options. Of course, the most simplistic one is just paint, a different color paint. There's a lot of people, though, that are a little hesitant, and they want to just pick a shade or two darker than their current wall color. I'm like, no, it has to be different, because like, especially people, we choose the feature wall to be like on the window wall, which is naturally darker anyways than the rest of the wall. So I'm like, we need to like, just be dramatic. Let's go darker. Let's go bold. Let's go something else. So that's like the first choice in choosing a feature wall, but there's many, many more.
Okay. Now, feature walls. I know that I did a couple of, DIY feature walls in my past, and they were fun. It was fun to do. But it was kind of at the time in the late 90s, early 2000s, when everybody was doing, the different things, watching these home improvement shows and, having fun with this stuff. Is it something that people should be doing today in 2026, or is the style kind of out, or how do you make it tasteful?
Well, what feature walls did you do?
I just did a feature when we came into our house. It was in the dining room, and I did kind of like where you put the plastic on it and kind of pull it off and stuff.
I think it's called swooshing or smushing or something like that.
Something like that. And it made a neat effect on it, right?
Yeah.
So you have a light color underneath and a...
Right.
Yeah.
And then like a glaze on top or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Right.
It was fun. But at the same time, it was like early 2000s.
Of course.
Right? So it was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So what kinds of feature walls do you recommend?
Well, almost the equivalent to that nowadays would be like a lime wash, where it's just kind of like a subtle thing. You can go more bold, right? Different colors and whatnot. So there's that. There's, oh my gosh, of course, wallpaper. That's one. There is wall murals. Someone can actually come in and paint a mural on your wall compared to wallpaper. Lately, I've also been seeing, we call it like picture frame molding. And that's little panels, like rectangles or squares. And then it's more of that like wainscoting kind of look. It doesn't suit every house though.
Right.
But yeah, that's something else that I have. I mean, I think Home Depot even sells like kits on, DIY, do it yourself.
Right.
So yeah, anyone can do it, I guess. But
so when you're talking with a client, how do you guide them through the process of choosing the feature wall?
Right.
And either what color or what type of paper or treatment that they should put on it?
Right. Well, so there's a few different factors, like budget would be one. So the cheapest is paint. And that's, quick and easy. We usually pick an inspiration, like, do you have a favorite picture or some bedding, or it depends, like pillows, like what color do you radiate towards? And if they don't know, I bring out my fan deck, display it out to them, and then like, usually they're like, ooh, I like this. I like that. So we kind of like, it's the starting point. So there's that. So budget is kind of like the driver. And then we start at like paint, and then wallpaper, the price ranges like crazy. So wallpaper is a whole different beast. There's so many options. And I usually give them a few different websites that they can check out. And they're like, I need help. And I'm like, okay, the other option, of course, is just go online and see what, appeals to you. Pinterest or just anything.
Yeah, get some inspiration.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Go visit some show homes and then take some pictures and let me know what, interests you.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And what inspires you, right? And then you can come in and help them, choose and pick.
That's right.
And then also, like, what you see on Pinterest isn't always what it's going to look like in your house.
Of course.
So how do you overcome, the seasonality, light, whether it's in the room lighting, whether it's recessed lighting, lamps, what have you, or natural light? Like, How do you choose a color that kind of works for those different instances?
Usually sampling is the best scenario. So if they're picking like this color that I don't normally have, because I have my color panels, right? But they're just typical, neutral colors. So we can make sample boards or paint directly on the wall, but do it properly and don't have, major streaks that we have to sand down later. That's the main thing. Is you got to live with the color. I can actually I'll paint the wall for you, right? It's just paint. Mm-hmm. It's not overly, costly. So I think that's kind of it. And sometimes it does take a week or two to like, just live with it and get used to it. I've had clients in the past where we went kind of bold. We'd pick like an orange color and they're like, ooh, they're excited, but nervous. Mm-hmm. And I did it. And they told me later on, they're just like, it took us a few weeks, but like, we love it. Like we got out of our shell. It looks great with the inspirational painting behind it. That was the key. And that was fun and interesting just to go a little bit deeper into that. We wanted a feature wall and I was like, okay, what kind of colors do you like or do you not like? And she's like, well, I don't like yellow, pink, blue, purple, and or green. I'm like, okay, we're kind of left with red and orange.
So you hate the rainbow. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. So I'm like, all right, orange. Then I'm like, oh, that's great. It's like a starting point. Like what colors can you live with? Which ones are you opposed to? And so we went from there and then picked the perfect color for that instance. So it's, it's asking questions, finding out, what their interests are and what will look good in the space like that. Sometimes I have I'm dead set on this and I'm like, well, it's not going to quite work out, but it depends, right? If that's their forever home, they got to love it. So, but if I have clients that think they're going to move within a few years, then I kind of steer them in the direction of, well, let's, pick something a little bit more neutral.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that's not a deal breaker. Because sometimes, people come in and they look at the house and even though paint is so temporary and, you can paint over it, sometimes the paint color and selections will deter buyers because they're like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to paint the whole house. And
it can be very off-putting and a lot of people can't visualize what a house could look like.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now it sounds like that particular instance that we were talking about, they were inspired by a piece of artwork that they had on the wall.
Yeah.
So let's go two different ways. Number one, when they have a particular either piece of furniture or piece of art that they really love and matching a paint color that will work with that
right.
or contrast. And then the other way is, okay, so now they have a wall, but what kind of art should I put there? So how do you help with those scenarios? I've
had that recently. My client just moved into her house and it was just painted like an off-white color, right? And she's like, I want to liven it up, but she didn't have her furniture in there yet. And so I'm like, well, what are you drawn to? So she showed me pictures on her phone and, we did determine, and she told me back in her old house, she had a feature wall that was just like a darker taupe. And I'm like, that's the safe route. We can definitely do that again. But then, I came back later, like a week later, and she started having, some stuff displayed. And I just told her, I'm like, it's not a big deal. I need to see what kind of furniture you have and what we can work with. And we did end up picking a color and we just moved a couple pieces of furniture out of the way and I painted the wall, really quickly, right? So a lot of people just want to jump in and get it done right away, but you can't really rush paint color. And it's quick and easy to do. Feature walls anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now choosing a piece of art.
Right.
For a feature wall. So how do you guide a customer in that? If they don't have any art, how do you go about, curating a piece of art for a wall or even a piece of furniture?
So you're saying like the feature color is already there?
Mm-hmm. I'm throwing you curveballs today.
Yeah.
Leann. I'm getting the creative juices flowing.
And they love this feature color?
Love it.
Well, then that should be easy.
You painted it, so they love it.
That should be easy to, you're just almost drawn to what you like. Like for myself, I love like navies and burnt oranges for some reason. So when I'm out, like, you know, shopping at HomeSense or whatever, right, I'm just like, oh, I see it, I'm just drawn to it. So I trust that that's what most people do. They kind of just like, you know, I scan the room and I'm like, oh, there it is. And you just go towards it. So I once heard that if you collect things that you love, it will just all work in your space. If not, I can guide them.
You can guide them to something, right?
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
From the even the eclectic to the classic. Right?
Yes. And that's the thing, right? Like if you pick everything that's so matchy, it's just going to look kind of drab anyways. So, you know, a little bit of pop here and there will look good. Yeah.
That's one of my pet peeves with a lot of these home furnishing stores or home decor stores.
Yeah.
They're all different shade of beige. Like everything
Pretty
is
much.
just like oatmeal and beige color. Like
That's
it's
right.
boring.
Yes.
Like there's nothing that pops.
Yeah.
For me, even the foliage that they choose to put into the vases or whatever, it's all, you know, dead dried grains and like it's all just earth tone.
That's right.
It's like, okay, is there anything that's a little bit more interesting?
Exactly.
Because I mean, it's fine if you want a beige house and everything beige and everything, you know, looks kind of clinical and beige. Can you see I'm kind of off beige for right now?
Yeah, but I actually love beige.
Well, I mean, but
Depends.
not everything needs to be beige.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like car manufacturers or dealers and they only order white, black, silver, gray. It's like so boring.
It
right?
is boring. Yeah.
But
and I think,
anyways, so how do you guide someone? You go into a home store and everything is a different shade of oatmeal or beige.
Well, you know, I've seen this one designer recently and she said, go with like a bold sofa or something. Not necessarily bold, but maybe like navy or green or something like that, right? It is timeless essentially, because if you're going with like a gray sofa, you have to beware because gray is not just gray. It's like blue gray, green gray, right? And then so that can, I've seen it many, many times where people move, they bring their furniture with them and there's like their sofa doesn't match what needs to be painted in the house, like the neutral.
Right.
So I'm like, ooh, you know, but also your furniture that you brought with you, there's a good chance that it's not going to work in your new house too. So you almost have to like, you know, start from scratch almost, but that can be fun. It can be overwhelming too. Yeah. But, yeah, I see that a lot. They're like, well, my sofa is like this, like blue gray. And I'm like, well, you know, we'll pick a neutral, but then your feature wall color should probably work with that. Or you go opposite and like paint orange, the complementary color to it. Go, right? So yeah, it all depends on their comfort level and whatnot. So
cool.
Yeah.
So are there any questions I haven't asked you that we need to cover when it's regarding feature walls?
I would say the other quick topic would be like, what happens when you get tired of your feature wall? Yeah. So once again, of course, paint is simple. You just change it. The other one though, like wallpaper and murals and whatnot, depending on the type that was installed, can be a nightmare to remove or not. Peel and stick should just be able to, you know, just pull it off the wall. But painted murals I've come across, and that's where someone, you know, like even if you get your kid to do it, you know, have at her, right? What happens is that like it's built up. So you have the ridges and the ripples and even like the geometric patterns where people put tape on the wall and, you know, that one you'll see lines. So it's a little bit more prep work and labor intensive. You just pretty much what we do in the industry is you take an orbital sander and just sand it down. Or in some instances, you skim coat the wall and float it out. So there's that. And then the highly textured faux finishes. I don't know. You almost have to skim coat those or you're stuck with like a textured wall. You just can change the top layer of, you know, the color pattern and stuff. So
Right. So
Yeah.
there's some different things to think about and consider if you
That's
get a textured wall or something like that, because it's going to be much more difficult to change
That's
later, right?
Yeah.
Unless you like the texture, then you just paint over
That's
the
right.
texture.
And I like texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the US, like I spent some time in Texas, and you know how we spray textured on ceilings here
Mm-hmm.
in Canada. Well, they do that on all the walls.
Yes, I
All
heard.
the walls
Yeah.
are sprayed texture.
Exactly.
All knocked down like
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like interesting.
You know what though? That's actually good for like durability.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can like bump into it or whatever, and can't even really tell. It's so much easier to touch up to. So that's why you'll find that in older like apartment buildings, the common areas are kind of done in that texture.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's also an option.
Yeah, that's right. It is actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Leann. I think that was very informative for everybody. And if you are looking for someone to help you with feature wall design tips and overall just painting and doing an amazing job, you can look to Leann at Walls Revived. See you on the next video.
See ya.